Hello dear students, welcome to English class. Today we will do the chapter number 3, Little Girl, from your book Beehive. The chapter is written by Catherine Mansfield. Before starting the chapter, I would like to discuss about the author. Kathleen Mansfield Murray was a prominent modernist writer who was born and brought up in New Zealand. She wrote short stories and poetry under the pen name Catherine Mansfield. When she was 19 years old, she left colonial New Zealand and settled in England, where she became a friend of D.H. Lawrence, Virginia Woolf, Lady Ottoline Morrell, and others in the orbit of Bloomsbury Group. All belonged to English literature. Mansfield was diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis in 1917 and she died in France aged 34. Now let us read the chapter. And before reading the chapter, I would like to tell you that we people love our parents. It is a natural emotion. Everybody loves his parents, but sometimes we have fear of our parents. Here in this chapter, there is a little girl who is so much afraid of her father that she is unable to speak clearly before him. How her fear gets away and how does she start to feel as normal child feels for his father in the chapter, let us come to know. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring me my slippers." So, dear children, in the beginning of the chapter, it has been told that the little girl was usually or was in the habit of feeling afraid of her father. She was afraid of her father. She usually tried to avoid her father. She usually tried to face her father. Every morning when her father went to work, he usually came into her room and gave her a casual kiss and said goodbye, and the little girl responded with this word only, "Goodbye, father." When he left the home, she felt relieved and she became happy when she heard that the noise of the carriage of the father became fainter and fainter, and now ultimately there was no more noise of the carriage is being listened to. So in the evening, when the father came back to home, everywhere there was silence in the home. Father usually came into the hall by the loud voice, "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet?" Like so on. He usually asked for many things as he entered into the home. "Kezia," mother would call to her, "if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly, the little girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. By that time, he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" "Don't know, father." "You don't know? If you shudder like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor." So when Kezia's mother asked Kezia to come down to went to the hall room to serve her father, she got frightened because of fear of her father. She obeyed her mother Unwillingly, therefore, she went to the hall very slowly, slowly and slowly. When she entered into the drawing room, she found her father was looking at her, and she got terrified. Father told her to pull off the boots and take them outside, and asked her whether she had been a good girl during the whole day or not. She she told her father in some hesitation, in some shuddering way, that don't. She was unable to speak clearly before her father. So her father warned her that if she would not speak clearly, her mother would take her to the doctor. She never shuddered with other people. She had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. So Kezia usually spoke with others in a very polite way, in a normal way. But when she confronted her father, when she faced her father, she started shuddering. She started stammering like this. What is the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry me teacup back to the table carefree. Carry my teacup back to the table carefully. So father also was not happy with such reaction of Kezia, and he asked Kezia's mother to take care of her, and asked her to take care of her in such a way that she should not have such a bad experience, bad exposure, or bad expressions like the suicide expression. And he also asked Kezia to carry his teacup back to the table carefully. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So Kezia thought that his father was so big. Even his hands and his neck and especially his mouth was so big. And she thought that when she thought about her father, she thought that as if she was thinking about a giant. So it means she did not have the emotions, the soft emotions like a girl for her father. She did not have such emotions for him. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. On the other side, Kezia's grandmother always tried to bridge up the gap between Kezia and her father. Therefore, she usually asked her to go down to the drawing room on every Sunday afternoon to have a nice talk with her father and mother. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he walked and stretched and asked time, then looked at her. So when Kezia obeyed her grandmother and she went to the drawing room, she usually found her father sleeping soundly and snoring on the sofa. He was covering his face with his handkerchief, and he was spreading his legs, one on the cushion and one on other side. And she did not say anything because she found her father sleeping and her mother busy in reading. And then she sat on a stool. She did not say anything, just sat on a stool, gravely watched him until, and she continuously watched her father and her mother without saying even a word. And when the father woke up and stretched and then asked the time, and then the father looked at Kezia. Don't stare so, Kezia, you look like a little brown owl. So he found Kezia continuously staring at him with fear, and father thought that she was staring at him. It was her habit, it was her nature. Therefore, he interrupted her by saying that she should not look like this, because she seemed, or she looked, or she was felt like a little brown owl when she looked at him like this. One day, when she was kept indoors with the cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she would make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So, when the one day when she was kept indoor because of some cold, the grandmother, she was with her grandmother, the grandmother told her that father's birthday was coming near. It is just 1 week distant distance, and she suggested her to make a pin cushion for him as a gift for his birthday, and it could be made up of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Laboriously with the double cotton, the little girl stitched three sides, but what to fill with it with, that was the question. The grandmother was out in the garden, and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scrap. On the bed table she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, and stuffed her case, then sewed up the fourth side. So, Kezia made a pin cushion for her father. She stitched three sides of that cushion, but now she was in search of some stuff to be filled it with, and grandmother was nowhere to be found. She wandered into mother's bedroom and to look for scraps. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper. She thought that it would be a good stuff for her pincushion. She gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces, stuffed her pincushion, her case, and then sewed the fourth side, then stitched the fourth side. So in this way, she made the pincushion for her father. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room? Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. So that night, when Kezia made that pin cushion for her father, on that night there was a hue and cry. I mean, there was a hustle and bustle, great disturbance in the house. Father was in great anger because he was searching his speech, which was for the Port Authority, which had been lost somewhere. All the rooms were searched, all the servants were questioned. Finally, when mother came into Kezia's room with that expectation that Kezia did not see some papers on the table in their room, when she asked Kezia about the papers, Kezia answered that she tore those papers for her surprise. And mother screamed because mother was also got fear that Kezia had something wrong. Kezia had committed a great mistake, and she asked Kezia to come down to the dining room this instant, that instant only. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. When Kezia came down, she found her father his father pacing to and fro and keeping his hands behind his back. When he said sharply, mother explained the whole things to him. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? Now, Kezia, as we know, that she usually stammered before her father because of too much fear of him. She did the same thing now. She said that no, 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 she whispered. She was unable to speak loudly. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. Damn thing is used for the pin cushion which was made by Kezia. see that the child's put to bed this instant. देखो, then the child has been, and the child put that thing on the table, on the bed. So bring that damn thing instantly to find out whether the child has done the mistake or not. So dear students, this is some part of this chapter about Kezia and that incident. So what happened next? Whether the father was angry with Kezia. In the anger, what did father do with Kezia? Did the father forgive her or punish her? We will see or come to know in the next part of this chapter. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.